that was one of the worst. Like, I hate the preseason, like with a passion. That was one of the worst preseason games I've ever watched.
It was as sloppy and this is not, I need to make this clear. This is not an indictment on the 49ers season because most of their key starters didn't play. Their reserves, their defensive reserves actually looked pretty good against the Broncos starters, offensive starters. And I thought that particularly on the first drive, I thought Mac Jones was really effective against the Broncos' top defense. That said, man, that was ugly. It was it was sloppy. It looked from the moment Mac Jones stepped off the field, and honestly, you know what? I'm going to take that back because I don't want to put it just on the quarterbacks. From the second offensive series on, it all felt like the fourth quarter of a preseason game.
Yeah.
The entire thing felt like San Francisco was just playing out the string. And again, that's not to dog them. That's just how the game felt. It was a slog to get through.
Totally agree. And I think this is probably what happens when you have a game 2 days after a scrimmage, which to this point, or a joint practice, I should say, against Denver, which had been, one of the biggest, most important of training camp, to have a football game 2 days after that. And I know obviously the reps are different, and like the Niners starters played Thursday, or practice Thursday against Denver, and the backups probably got fewer reps than obviously they did on Saturday. But I just think for a football team, it's probably difficult to go through training camp, have a really intense practice on a Thursday, and then turn around and have a game on a Saturday. And that's not an excuse. I think it's just a reality, but it's also like why I think these preseason games are so stupid and pointless is like teams are really prioritizing joint practices. Like it used to be kind of a novelty, right? Like there were like teams didn't always do it. And now it feels like teams have like 2 sets of joint practice every training camp, like throughout the league. Like every team does it. And it used to be kind of this novel thing. And coaches are like, no, that's like really good work to practice against these teams. We value that obviously way more than the preseason. And you don't even have to ask them. You can just look at the fact that none of the Niners starters on offense played. Maybe Demarcus Robinson's a starter, but like other than that, none of their starters played on offense.
Ben
Barch, sure. But then, like on defense, it's like 3 or 4 maybe starters started the game, right? Or 4 guys who are going to contribute regularly started. And it's just like, it's just not an enjoyable thing to watch. It's no surprise that the Niners played poorly. But there were some things that stood out. To me, the things that stood out weren't necessarily positive. It didn't look like, for all the talk about Nick Martin, like, is he going to start? Did they draft him to start? It's like, no, he's nowhere close.
Yikes, dog.
Like, and I'm not out on Nick Martin. Like, I don't think he's a bad player because he didn't play well tonight in this preseason game, but it was like, all right, this dude's probably a year away. Like he needs a lot of work at minimum before, like he didn't really look like a playable.
He looked lost.
Yeah, he didn't look like a playable linebacker tonight, which is, again, like I don't think that means he's going to be bad. I just think it means, all right, this guy's probably a year away from even being considered like somebody who you feel good about on defense, even in a bit role.
Yeah, the last touchdown Denver scored, he was late to diagnose that play. And he wound up hitting the tight end, but he was already in the end zone. The other stuff, he missed 2 tackles, one on a run that went for 18 yards, the other on a reception that went for 16 yards. And he just flat out missed the tackles in a way that made it look like his size is going to be prohibitive because he is very small. And that is concerning for me. He came up with a big stick later in the drive, but then again, a couple plays later, just whiffed an open field tackle. Has a running back dead to rights and didn't touch him. And that's where, like, man, there's a ways for him to go to play under control, to be comfortable in the defense. And again, I'm with you. This is not, wow, they whiffed on the Nick Martin pick, but it's very, very clear that his chances of starting this year are gone. He is not. He might be a healthy scratch on Sundays.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't play dramatically better than this, I think it's pretty much going to be a thing for the rest of the preseason. It's like, all right, does Nick Martin look more comfortable? And if not, like then you start to, like preseason games are so forgettable for me that like I think I choose just to forget everything that happened and like as soon as the season starts. But it does feel like sometimes there are guys that come under the microscope a little bit in the preseason, particularly if they're highly drafted players and they don't play well. That's probably going to be an ongoing theme with Nick Martin because I don't think Kyle Shanahan really has any interest in playing any of his starters for any considerable amount of time, unless you and I want to pour over Ben Barch tape, which maybe we can. But like,
I already have. You think I was doing it in the second half?
There's going to be a lot of Nick Martin discussion, I think, over these remaining 2 preseason games. Also, in a similar vein, I didn't think they looked lost, but you didn't really feel Alfred Collins when he was on the field.
I kept waiting for a play.
Yeah.
And it felt very Javon Kinlaw to me.
Sure.
Just big dude that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't feel like he was penetrating. It felt like he was on the field a lot during Jared Stidham, his time on the field, and Stidham just looked super comfortable in the pocket. And the Niners didn't move him off his spot. He certainly didn't have any pressure, it felt like, up the middle, forcing him to get rid of the ball sooner than he wanted to. And Stidham's stat line is hilarious.
It's unbelievable. What is it?
Jared Stidham, 14 of 15, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, with 3 carries for 36 yards and an 18 yards.
He was their leading rusher.
He was their leading rusher. Like, I mean, props to Jared Stidham. He's a vet backup in the league. Like he's, it's not entirely surprising to see him look really sharp in the preseason. But I think the fact that the Niners rookie defensive lineman didn't really move the pocket at all, it could potentially be problematic in the same way that, Nick Martin could potentially be problematic, at least in his rookie season. And look, not to overreact, there's a chance that CJ West and Alfred Collins are getting like 10, 15 snaps a game in the regular season. And maybe their snaps are a lot better because they're fresher and they're not on the field constantly. Maybe. But it didn't look very good tonight in terms of like, oh, yeah, you feel awesome about these dudes as draft picks. I know CJ West has been better in practice and certainly looks like somebody who can contribute, particularly for a 4th-round pick. But tonight just didn't really feel those guys.
Here's a stat while we're talking about quarterback comfortability. The 49ers, how do I want to say this? What's the way I can say this that makes it most impactful? The Broncos completed passes to 17 different players. The 49ers completed 13 passes total.
That's wild.
It's insane. Yeah,
that
man, it
wild.
would just CJ West flashed a couple of times.
I mean, Jordan Watkins had a 50-yard reception and finished with 56 yards.
Yeah, tough.
Yeah,
but I want to talk about Jordan Watkins in a second. But CJ West had a couple of moments. There was the play that Kalia Davis just whiffed a sack, where CJ West just moved 2 offensive linemen out of the way. I think you're probably going to see that a lot from him. Yeah. And then he had another play where he split a double team and busted up a run play early. So it's those little flashes like that. Okay, you feel better about that versus Alfred Collins, man. Every time I focused on Alfred Collins, he just was standing at the line of scrimmage. All right, man. That's probably not going to get it done.
And he didn't have an off-season program. He, has only really been playing football for NFL football for a couple weeks in training camp. Like, again, I'm not going to like completely overreact, but it's certainly not it's not what you would want ideally you'd be like, all right, that guy looks like a second round pick. That guy's at least being productive against backups in his preseason debut. Not like, oh, you're not even feeling the guy. He's the Denver's not feeling him, and he's a second round pick. And I get it's a projection with him, but they're going to need more.
Right, but you can just and again, all of this is taken with the multiple grains of salt that it is a preseason game. What does he look like next to Nick Bosa? And if Michael Williams is good, and if Bryce Huff is out there running around, then if Alfred Collins is getting one-on-ones with a center, is he all of a sudden winning? Like that, those are things that can happen. But again, we're reacting off information that we have. But when you're talking about rookies, Jordan Watkins, 3 catches, 56 yards. They found different ways to get in the ball. He made that nice catch on the 50-yarder early in the game. You see the juice. You see, okay, if he's their third receiver just to open the year, okay. If he's wide receiver 4, you feel fine with that. You saw the flashes. We mentioned CJ West earlier. Corey Kiner, undrafted running back, had 4 or 5 runs tonight that were eye-opening. At the way he finished the run, the balance that he showed, the vision that he has, like you see the outline of an NFL player there. So that's, I think, kind of what you're looking for. It's not, oh man, that guy dominated, because no, they're rookies playing in their first real NFL game or first NFL game. Probably not going to go dominate.
Yeah.
Given the circumstances, but are there going to be flashes where you feel good about where they're at? And I didn't see that with him, but I did see that with all those guys I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Which is a
yeah, should point out to Upton Stout, probably been one of the most talked about players, or at least rookies, during training camp. Didn't play because of calf stiffness, Kyle Shanahan said afterwards. Caleb Lucas.
Chase Lucas.
Chase Lucas. Will we remember this as the Chase Lucas game?
Yeah, I think we will. Dude, he was so I'm of two minds on this, because Chase Lucas was all over the place tonight. He forced a safety on Bo Nix, on the Broncos starting offense. He had a pressure that forced an incompletion before that. He had a couple tackles at or behind the line of scrimmage, had a pass breakup. He was fantastic. But he was also doing all that stuff in the first quarter and in the fourth quarter. It probably doesn't bode well for him. Like, it's great that he played well. You'd rather play well than not. But the fact that he was in the game for basically 60 minutes, that's usually not a great sign.
It also might just be that their depth chart at nickel is 2 players deep right now.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It might be Upton Stout and Lucas, and that's so. I don't know. Like, nickel is a little bit tough because I don't know if he can play another position, and if nickel is his only spot, obviously he'd play on special teams. But do you give a 53-man roster spot to a guy who only plays nickel? I don't think I'd hate it. And if maybe he has more versatility than I'm giving him credit for, but it just seems like kind of I just don't know. I unless you feel comfortable playing him outside, which we haven't seen him play outside. I don't know that a guy like that gets a roster spot, even if he is good. But it seems like if he plays like that, like, I could see another team like dealing with an injury at the position being like, yeah, we'll take that guy. Like, we need it. He looks like a capable nickel. Like, right. And the Niners nickel situation I thought would be a weakness coming into the season. But if you have, obviously Diamador Lenore can do it. He's probably not going to do it because you have Upton Stout. But with Chase Lucas in the mix too, the nickel position might be a strength, but I just don't know if you keep 2 true nickels
right
when you do have the versatility to play Lenore at nickel if something were to happen to Stout. Like, I don't know. That's going to be an interesting one to watch because I think that's a tricky decision.
Yeah, I'm with you there. How do I phrase this? I was surprised by how unproductive the 49ers offense was.
Sure.
Like, usually in the preseason, eventually an offense gets rolling and scores some. But man, the interceptions were all of them were bad. All three quarterbacks threw one interception, and every single one of them was a disaster. You had Tanner Mordecai just dropping the football on a bootleg. You had Carter Bradley throwing late or inaccurately. He throws the hell out of the ball. Holy smokes. I don't know what happened on the deep shot to Isaiah Hodgins. I don't know if they just had a miscommunication or if it was just a bad throw or what, but I kept waiting for, okay, there's a big play. Like there's the thing that kind of gets them a little bit of momentum, and they just I think the concern for me would be just how sleepy it all looked. And maybe that's just maybe it's just that the depth chart has too many players that are banged up, and you've got Carter Bradley, who's been on the team for 10 days or whatever, and Tanner Mordecai, who just resigned. Maybe it's that, but that would be the one thing if I'm gonna pick something to actually take away. It's that, man, it didn't feel like top to bottom the roster really wanted to play tonight.
Yeah. I mean, but I think that's kind of like a top-down thing. Like Kyle Shanahan has said over, like, he would prefer no preseason games to 3.
Right.
And he would certainly prefer 2 to 4. Like he's just not, he does not view preseason games as super helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the 49ers use their depth chart and use their roster in these preseason games indicates to me that they're just trying to get this over with. Like, how can we, like coming in, I thought like there was a decent chance, like, hey, maybe Ricky Pearsall plays. Like he, didn't play as much as you obviously would have liked last year. Like maybe Ricky Pearsall needs some reps, like, like test out his hamstring a little bit, like just didn't play. It's like, okay, this is a guy in his second season who we thought, yeah, this guy could still use some developing. But Kyle Shanahan's like, yeah, it's not going to happen in a preseason game. So it's, I think that type of stuff to me, like, kind of indicates where the 49ers are at with the first preseason game. And maybe that changes next week when they play the Raiders. And I would imagine the third preseason game against the Chargers will look more like tonight than like, the quote unquote all important dress rehearsal game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, we'll see, but like, we're not going to see Trent. We're not going to see Nick Bosa. We're not going to see George Kittle. We're not going to see, maybe we see Brock Purdy in one of these. Maybe
I would imagine it's the third one though, because they have joint practice with the Raiders.
Yeah.
So maybe it is the third one where they, but to that point, I don't think we're going to see all those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't play Christian McCaffrey, and I wouldn't even have him do warm-ups.
But Kyle Shanahan, after the game in his press conference, you have Upton Stout, as you mentioned, not playing because of the calf injury. Michael Williams didn't play because of the knee injury he suffered in practice. Richie Grant, another backup safety, didn't play because of a knee problem. Marquise Siegel, another safety, hurt his knee in the game. They don't think it's a long-term issue, but he's got to undergo more testing. You had Amir Abdullah leaving the game because of a rib injury. Tatum Bethune got hurt during the game, but he ended up coming back. It's just like, man, this is a really, really tough spot to be in, where your roster is super banged up. You have to play a game. You have to field a team, but you can't just play the same 22 guys for the whole game because you're trying to get other guys reps. It's just not a good situation for the 49ers.
Yeah, and like, it's tough because I kind of go back and forth with the, like, okay, so Warren Sharp, guy who does a lot of interesting, football analysis, data analysis, those types of things. He had a tweet from, I think it was Thursday, 49ers health by season. Last year, they were the most injured team in the league. 2023, 29th, went to the Super Bowl. 2022, they were the 9th most injured team in the league, still went to the NFC Championship game, which was obviously derailed by injury. 2021, 3rd most injured. 2020, the most injured. 2019, 6th most injured, lost the Super Bowl. 2018, 4th most injured. So the Niners have been top 10 in injuries in 2 of their 7 seasons since Kyle Shanahan took over. Or I should say 2 in the last 7 seasons. So like it just goes back to the conversation of like how important is having a really physical training camp? How important is building the quote unquote callus your players to get them ready for a 17 game season versus just like putting dudes in bubble wrap and just try to just get going when the season starts, really. Like, because we're at a point now where the Niners are consistently one of the most injured teams in the league. They're still dealing with these types of injuries, and again, none of them outside of Kevin Givens is believed to be, long term leading into the season. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk tore his ACL and did other stuff to his knee last year, but like, at what point is the conversation like maybe we don't have this type of physicality in our training camp practices? Like, I don't know. I just wonder because I fully get the idea that like, yeah, you want to have physical practices because you are trying to get your team ready for the physicality of the season. I fully understand that. But at the same time, it's like one of the 10 most injured teams in the league every year, like top 6 in most years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know how you solve that. I think it's a really difficult thing.
Yeah, and especially because it's not. It doesn't. Like Jacob Cowan got hurt in warmups,
Right.
and Jawan Jennings apparently was good to go, and then aggravated his calf.
Nick Martin busted his thumb weightlifting.
Right.
And Ben Barch hurt his quad weightlifting. Like, it's
right. It really does feel like if you want to talk to me about running backs and go, okay, the way the outside zone is, it's high speed collisions and this and that. All right. I guess I had a friend at 95.7 who had a theory that the 49ers just have running backs who are too small. And then we debunked that theory. And it really feels like bad luck. I mean, they couldn't do joint practice with the Saints last year because they had too many injuries. And so they've taken precautions this year to try and not have more injuries, and they've had more injuries. Like
right.
it's
But
I'm with you, man. I don't have a good answer for it.
Is it bad luck when it's 7 of the last 8 seasons?
That's right. And that's what I'm saying is that that says pattern. That says they're doing something wrong, but I don't know what it is. Do
Yeah,
they need
and
more days off?
maybe the follow-up with Sharp is like, I mean, because the Niners have been one of the best teams in the NFL just over that stretch, right? Like consistently deep playoff runs. It's like the only time they don't make a deep playoff run is when they're just completely devastated by injuries to their best players. But like maybe there's a study that says, oh, all those teams, some of those teams that are super healthy that don't have like really rigorous training camps suck. Maybe they're just bad teams. You know what I mean? So and maybe that's the correlation that Kyle Shanahan goes back to. I don't know. I haven't seen those studies done. And I should point out that's based on a missed games, a collective missed games statistic, I believe.
So that could be skewed a little bit too.
Yeah, like one guy being out for the season is 19 as opposed to, 19 guy or 17 as opposed to, maybe 17 guys miss one game and it accounts for the same as that.
Sure.
Like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's the biggest takeaway for me tonight is that one, the 49ers are super banged up, and two, if they're super banged up going into the regular season, they do not have the depth to withstand that. That continues to be a problem. I think maybe at corner they're okay. Like maybe some guys will surprise us at corner, and maybe Dallas Flowers can play, and Darrell Luter can play, and Chase Lucas can play, or Jacob Robinson, and you know what? Hey, they're 4 or 5 deep at corner, and you feel okay about it. But like at linebacker right now, outside of Fred Warner and I guess D Winters, I'm unmoved. At maybe at running back they're okay, maybe,
I
But
don't know. I mean, there's even if we feel okay about the depth at running back, it feels like their season kind of hinges on Christian McCaffrey's health.
I agree.
Speaking of running backs, I am mentally prepared. I texted you and Nick this in the group chat. I'm fully prepared for Corey Kiner to have a better career than Jordan James. I'm ready. It's already shaping up that way.
It's the expectation at this point, right?
Yeah.
The undrafted guy is going to do better than the guy they drafted.
Yeah.
And maybe Jordan James comes back from his finger injury and he's awesome. But man, Corey Kiner just looked really good tonight. Like for apropos of nothing, like just in a vacuum, I thought he looked like a really effective running back.
Yeah. Yeah. We got to get our guy a better uniform number.
1,000%. Hey, 49. Come on.
49 kind of has like a history of like the undrafted running back who like actually turns into something.
So Isaac Guerrero wore last year.
Matt Breida.
Oh,
same
nice.
thing. I feel like there are others, but yeah, like 49 might be the worst running back number possible.
Yeah, it's not great.
I don't know that I can't think of a worse running back number. Like literally any, like 48's better. It's not much better. I mean, I think 41
I think
sucks,
46
but maybe
is worse than 49. That's my take. Like 46 is a long snapper ass number, dog.
I mean, the
to our
Niners
guy
last
Tabor
two,
Pepper.
and John Weeks is 46, isn't he?
Yeah. That's also how old he is.
I hope somebody can snag 7 from Thomas Morstead. No offense to our guy, but 7 should not be. 7 is too cool of a single digit number for a punter.
Brutal, dude. DeMarcus Robinson in number 5 looks great, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that looks awesome.
Thomas Morstead is a number 9 punter. Like he's why he would wear anything other
the number 7.
Yeah, just completely. I see. To me, I think 9 is the least aesthetically pleasing single digit number.
Okay. Yeah, a little.
I don't know
clunky.
what it is. I'm just not a fan of the number 9. I don't think anybody looks good in the number 9.
All right. You can go tell the frozen head of Ted Williams that. Go tell Drew Brees that.
Yeah, I just, it doesn't do anything for me. I think it's a weird number.
It's like an incomplete 8.
Right. And it's like, it's lopsided. Like, is it going to fall over? It's top heavy. You know what I mean? Like 8.
Sure,
8
right. That's why
solid.
you don't have it. That's why you don't have a problem with 6, because it's girthy at the bottom.
Yeah, it's stable. This is where we're at with the preseason. We're
I don't know, man. I just like, what am I supposed to do? Like the backup offensive line. Like, yeah, Spencer Burford's not an offensive tackle. Also, I'm not going to fry Spencer Burford because he couldn't block Nick Bonito in a preseason game. Where they're like, yeah, just be on an island with an all-pro. You got it. In a game situation, if the 49ers are playing the Broncos and Spencer Burford's playing left tackle, you think they're not throwing a tight end on that side? You think they're not trying to do something to slow him down? No, it's just pin your ears back and go get the quarterback, and he whooped Spencer Burford's ass. Like,
there's
that's
what
I would expect to happen.
If the Niners ever have to play without one of their tackles, there's going to be a lot of 22 and 12 personnel.
Yes.
It's just going to be Luke Farrell and George Kittle just blocking the hell out of defensive ends and pass pro.
Can we talk about our guy T-Rock?
Sure, what you got?
Mac 10's got to go.
Is that what he calls Mac Jones?
He calls Mac Jones Mac 10. That's got to go. That has to stop.
Yeah, I'm not a big. He said at one point in the game, it all starts with a nickname, and I couldn't disagree more. I don't need any nicknames. I think star players can have nicknames that they develop over time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think backup quarterbacks need nicknames that especially Mac 10.
Mac 10, Mac
10. I don't know that, if he had like a great arm, okay, maybe. I'm not a huge gun guy, so maybe that's coloring my opinion a little bit here, but I don't know.
Sure. Wasn't Mac 10 a rapper too?
Yes.
Come on, man.
I thought Guy Haberman did a great job.
It was awesome.
Shout out to Guy. It's just like some really interesting anecdotes, like backstories, and like just the mechanics. The fact that it's his first time doing that. It didn't sound like it was his first time doing it. And obviously, like, I know he does a ton of college football games, so it's not like this was his first football game. But like, I just think he was comfortable. He sounded good. Good mix of anecdotes, good calls. Yeah. So shout out to
in a dog shit football game.
Right.
Right. that's the
and like
part.
It's cool that like when you don't need to be locked into X's and O's late in a preseason game when you're calling it. Like, tell some stories, talk about some interesting backgrounds.
Yeah.
So shout out to Guy.
Absolutely. That's all I got, man.
Yeah, if
it's half an hour on a 30-9 preseason loss where the starters.
If you've disagreed with me in the past that like, no, Chris, preseason's awesome. Like, just remember tonight. Remember the experience that you had tonight watching that preseason game.
Preseason is awesome. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
and try coming up with meaningful takeaways from that game. It's just not. I'm ready for. Give me an 18-game schedule. Give me no preseason games, and let's just do it. Let's just do the thing. 2 bye weeks, 18-week season, 18 games, 20 weeks total. Like, let's just get me to that place because we're headed there. I get it. Let's just do that because these preseason games are not doing anything for anybody aside from the teams who get another opportunity to sell beer and hot dogs and fill their stadium with fans.
And give NFL Network something to play at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday.
In August.
They're just replaying preseason games.
They're not playing preseason games in September.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That would be an all-time funny bit, though. It's like week 4.
Just re-racking preseason games.
You're like insomniac, you can't sleep, and you're like, yeah, we got Niners preseason opener against the Broncos. Watch Jarrett Stidham cook.
You're just flipping through channels, and you're like, wait, is that the Chase Lucas game?
Okay. Yeah, that's all I got.
Here's what's awesome about preseason. It means that it's almost the regular season. It's like one down. And salute to that game getting done in a tidy 3 hours.
Yeah. It's like saying the best thing about winter is it's almost spring.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
All right, what you got?
Can I tell you this story about my trip to Bath and Body Works today?
Sure.
All I have in my candle closet, because I'm burning out of my Waikiki Beach coconut candle, a perfect summer.
You have
scent, I feel.
Just to reiterate, you have a candle closet.
Well, okay.
So is this a closet that holds only candles?
You know what? For the sake of the bit, and because you want to be an asshole about this, yes.
we have a closet that we put candles in, but we don't.
Yeah, that's it. Right. Right. Okay. It's just so in the closet where we house our large cooking utensils and some random electronics and some other stuff, as well as candles.
Mm-hmm.
I was running low on summer scents.
Okay.
And I'm sick of coconut. I don't want to smell coconut anymore. It's just it's old for me. So all I have are Christmas and spring candles. And I went into Bath and Body Works because I was like, okay, fall is coming up. I need another summer candle, but then I need to get my fall candles lined up now.
Mm-hmm.
I go walking in there today, and the lady goes, "Are you here for the men's sale?" I turn and I said, "What?" And she goes, "Are you here for the sale on men's products?" And I'm like, "I'm not. Is that okay?" And she goes, "Oh, yeah. What are you here for?" Like, what? Why am I
Your
being
assortment of products.
I'm being interrogated because I want to give you my money. So I said I'm here for candles. And dude, I knew I was so upset that I got profiled. I did not like that one bit. Do you know how hard it is to be a man in this country? No, but I didn't. So I wanted to, because I'm just having a good time. So I just launch into this whole spiel. The thing I just spieled to you about my candle closet, and I needed a summer scent as well as get on top of the fall scents because all I have are Christmas and spring. I launched into that whole spiel, but I started throwing out names of candles that I have or want and or haven't tried yet, and just blew this lady's brain hole. I got done with my spiel on candle scents and olfactics, and she was like, "Oh, well, okay, if you need any help." I'm like, "I clearly don't need any help from the likes of you, lady."
I have a question for you on this.
Sure.
Given like the transition from summer to fall is like, I know it's not spring. I'm not trying to say it's spring, but is there a world where you could get away with the spring candle in like the second week of October?
Jesus Christ. No. Is there a world where you could be a good quarterback while carrying a hockey stick? No. Like, what the
So, okay. Are there any that, because what it seems to me in our few conversations we've had about candles, there aren't a lot of candles that can survive or not survive, that are usable in over multiple seasons. Or are there?
it's
Like, are there
very rare. That's
candles that
very
you can
rare.
do? Okay. Do you
Like,
have any
if you want to
examples?
be
Like, it's like vanilla. I feel like vanilla could be like winter and summer.
like just plain vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I think it depends on the sweetness of the scent for sure.
Okay.
I don't hate that idea. If you're like a clean linen person, like a fresh laundry scent, I think that plays year round, because who doesn't love the smell of fresh laundry for sure.
Sure.
So the tough part, hey, shout out to anyone listening. The tough part about this time of year is because you start to think it's fall. Football's back. It means it's fall, but then it's 90 degrees out. And you don't want to have a pumpkin maple candle when it's 90 degrees out. Like, it just doesn't hit right. So I found a couple coffee scents. One of them is fresh brewed coffee. The other one is like a cafe latte or something like that. Sure. And those are good because they're sweet, like fall-ish, but they're not all the way leaning into the pumpkin maple scent that typically comes with a fall candle. So that's going to be my transition candle this year.
Okay.
During that weird time where it's fall, but the weather says it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. Scent versatility. I think that might be like
we've spent more time on this than we did
maybe a market inefficiency in the candle industry. Like, are there enough multi-season candle scents?
No.
Should we make Candlestick Chronicles candles?
Yes. Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Maybe they're shaped like candlestick.
Maybe. Like, oh, nice. And then we can name them after the portions of the off season / preseason / season that you should burn them.
Draft time, and it's like a spring scent.
Exactly. Here's your training camp candle.
Right.
And
OTAs.
It's a nice summer scent. Here's your week 8 through 12 candle. It's a pumpkin pecan latte. Here's your week 14 and 15 candle. It's balsam fir.
I think we might need to talk to the marketing people about this. I actually don't hate this idea.
Tyler, do you still listen to our show?
Candlestick Chronicles candles for different times of the year. That draft time. That Super Bowl candle. What's like a good February scent? What's like a
Oh, that's just it. So you're gonna go winter, but you're gonna go away from Christmas because Christmas is, to me, it's like Christmas tree smell.
Gingerbread.
Gingerbread is a big
Yeah.
one. Like fireplace type stuff that always plays. But you can do there's all sorts of like winter specific scents. It's like frosted snowflake, and that'll play in February.
Sure. Okay.
You can also, in terms of versatility, you can also stretch your fall candles, most of them, into the winter.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Kyle Madson, he of a candle closet. Candle expert. I'm sorry that happened to you in Bath and Body Works. That's
all right. Just getting profiled left and right over here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's really ridiculous what's happening.
Yeah. You should have said, like, actually, I was looking for lunch. Do you guys have any food? Or
it smelled good in here.
Asking why you're like an employee asking a customer why they're in a store, like, is a wild, like, you have.
Are you here for the men's sale? Like, ma'am, I beelined it to the candles. I couldn't have been more focused on it. I wasn't like looking around like, where the hell? No, man. I know that the middle section, the big section, they're always like a season ahead. So I knew, all right, I'm going to get fall candles in here. And I was in the middle of picking up a fall candle, and are you here for the men's sale?
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm grabbing a candle that smells of champagne, peaches, and fresh bergamot, and you're asking me if I'm here for the men's sale? Keep your teakwood mahogany and your vanilla noir over there.
Anyway, I don't even know what what men's products are at Bath. Anyway, but we can talk about that awful.
Okay.
Subsequent review. We appreciate everybody hanging with us for this candle conversation, and we will talk to you guys later in the week. I'm gonna rewatch this preseason game as much as it's gonna pain me. I'm gonna rewatch it, get some fresh eyes on it, and we'll talk about that and all the latest news and notes as the week starts. Maybe some guys return to the practice field on Monday. Talk to you guys then. Again, subscribe, rate, and review. Check us out on YouTube. Go get Candlestick Chronicles from Cooperage. It's back. It's delicious. It's as good as ever. And check out their new location in downtown Santa Rosa. All right, see ya.